Yes, I'm so sorry for the technical difficulties we've had, but we've got it going now. So welcome to our little bit late Google Hangout. I'm Nina Berman, Triple Diamond with It Works. I am here with Mike and Angie, Double Diamond, soon to be Triple Diamond leaders with It Works. No need to adjust your screens. They really are that good looking.
I like that. We'll take that.
I knew you would. So I would love to get started interview style with these guys. For those of you who don't know them, they have a really awesome journey, and it's kind of the reason that I wanted to interview them is because it took them a long time of watching their cousin to get started with It Works. And I know a lot of people who are possibly interested in doing this might not know if it's for them, and maybe they're kind of on the fence. So this has got a great journey. They are on their way straight to the top, and they're just awesome people. So Angie, I was going to start with you since I know you're the first one who got started. When did you get started with It Works?
We got started, and we always clarify that we got started together about December 1st, 2013. And we say we got started together because it was a very joint decision. It wasn't like the typical It Works couple where the woman gets started first, and then once the husband gets some believability, then he kind of gets on board. We decided together, and it was from watching my cousin Alicia's journey. You know, we were just laying in bed one night and looking at each other, and we said, hey, let's just do it. And of course, It Works is so wonderful. They let you sign up. You know, you can stack yourselves. And so we got me in first with my social security number, December 2013. And basically just started together right from the beginning.
We're awesome. A team. Question. Yeah, that was my next question, Mike, is how soon after did you start? So that is definitely unique because Angie, like you said, a lot of times the wife gets started first, and then when money starts to come in, that's when guys believe. So that's really cool, Mike. So tell me what you were, tell me about that decision to get started together right off the bat.
Well, I shouldn't say this, it shows my age, but about 27 years ago, I was in Amway, 27 years. Most people in it
started when you were like 11 years old. That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm old. Half a century plus. So I dabbled in Amway. I shouldn't say I dabbled. I did pretty good. I got up to what's called a direct with Amway. And at the time with us, that's probably equal to maybe a high, in between a diamond and a double diamond. So I was doing pretty good and had a good organization, but excuse me, I was in the military at the time and I got deployed, and 27 years ago, whatever it was, let's see, no cell phones, no internet, no social media. You had the push button phones, I think, maybe it's still rotary, I can't remember. Oh. We had a hammer and a chisel that we used a lot, but anyway, so I built a pretty sizable organization. I got deployed and ended up, it just quite frankly fell apart. And when I got back from deployments, after months and months, quite honestly, I don't know why I didn't restart and rebuild it. I was a little discouraged and kind of let it go. So all through the years, I've always been a believer in network marketing. And I have friends here in Raleigh that are millionaires in network marketing. So I've always known that it works. So for me, believability was not an issue. Angie is same, knows people as well. But the only reason why we basically took a while to get in was because, like the excuse most people have is we were just too busy. And we truly, today's our anniversary, not looking for props, but we got a lot today on Facebook. It was very nice.
Congratulate you.
It was very nice. But we, like Angie was saying, we were sitting in bed that night and we'd been thinking about it and thinking about it and thinking about it. But we personally did not want to make a decision to jump on board until we knew that we were going to do it, because there's no quitting for us. And so that's why. So we did jump on board as a team. We made a team decision. So when we talk to married couples, we actually encourage them both to get on board. Doesn't always work out that way, but that's what we do.
And we did not sign. We were trying to be strategic. We did not sign Mike up right away. As a matter of fact, my daughter came on board. We had recruited a couple other people, and we put Mike in, I'm thinking January or February timeframe.
It was a month or two.
It was a month or two. We decided to go ahead and just put Mike in up underneath of us. And when we went diamond, he was still basically a distributor. So we really hadn't even started growing his. we really hadn't even started growing his leg yet, but because, you know, we had some other legs that were just growing.
A little distributor.
So we didn't really need his leg when we went diamond.
Didn't need me.
But then, you know, very quickly we realized that
was important.
I'm sure that happened very quickly, right? I think we all discovered that pretty quickly, Mike.
Right.
And he was really, really pouting when we went diamond.
I was pouting.
And he was still saying,
I was pouting.
Anyways.
She's a diamond. I'm a distributor.
But then I said, well, you're the boss at the gym, so it evens out, you know.
Very good point. Very good point.
The boss if it works. So, but we decided very quickly that it was very advantageous to go ahead and, you know, once you get going and it works and you really start recruiting, you realize that you have to play somewhere, so you might as well grow your spouse. And so I don't know, for the people who are out there listening, it is at some point very advantageous for you to go ahead and get your significant other in the organization.
Whether they're going to do it or not, it doesn't matter.
Right, because, you know, you might as well bring 2 commissions into the household instead of 1. And a lot of people don't realize what a blessing that is. So many network marketing companies do not allow that. They allow couples to join together with both social security numbers, and so they both own the distributorship, but then you're just getting 1 commission into the household. And with It Works, you know, they have such a great compensation plan. They let you sign more than 1 person in the household up within the organization. So, so now Mike is a diamond, and and we put the little quotes in, and we are charted triple.
We're charted triple.
And that's actually exactly what I did with my husband as well. Is once I knew that I was, you know, actually capable of growing a team with the company. And like you said, that's just kind of the name of the game, is sometimes you need to build to promote. And I was like, why not build underneath somebody who I know is going to not go anywhere? So that's kind of why I did that too. But, you know, you guys actually, you kind of hit on that. Your cousin is Alicia Mayo, another presidential diamond with It Works. And it took you guys quite a while, though, to decide to join. Isn't that right? You guys, she was what you guys to call pleasantly persistent.
She was very pleasantly persistent with both of us. So she'd message me, you know, if she saw me post something on Facebook about hating my job or something. She'd message me. And then, of course, when we opened the gym, she saw that we had let some vendor come in and set up a supplement table. She'd be messaging Mike, hey, why don't you do it?
She had all kinds of sarcasm in that voice of hers, too. She's like, oh, and so you got supplements in the gym.
Yeah, nice, right? So she was pleasantly persistent, but we had the mindset that we were too busy, and in retrospect, it's really the busiest people who are the most successful. So when anyone comes to us and says we're too busy, we always say, great, they're always the most successful. You know, and we truly were very busy. Mike was trying to grow the gym. He was there all day. I was in the classroom all day long. I was the principal of the school, so I was there pretty much all night long. We truly, I mean, we were busy, but once we got in and really got focused, it took me a very short amount of time to realize how small of amount of time you really have to work at it every day. It's just about being consistent, which I'm sure we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, that's the biggest key, is consistency, for sure. You know, it's not the amount of time you put in, it's what you do with that time that you put in.
Right, daily.
Right.
Why did it take you guys? I mean, it took about 2 years, right, for you guys to get in?
Honestly, you know what? We say all the time, or people say, I hear them say in the business all the time, and I don't want to upset anybody, but I'm used to doing that. People say, you know, it happens when it's supposed to happen. The fact of the matter is, I don't believe that. We should have got in 2 years earlier when Alicia told us to. Because I think that in life, you know, there's called consequences based on your choices. And, you know, and we're, all joking aside, we're Christians. We do believe in a purpose and everything. But we also believe that, you know, you can sit around all day and say, well, God's going to take care of me. And I do believe God will take care of you. However, you got to get off your butt and move forward every day. I think, you know, you have to make a decision. And so many times we sit around in life, most people, they never excel at anything because they keep waiting for a sign. And I don't want to make this too long, but I was an Army recruiter for a while, and I think this is a really good point. So I'm driving around in the G-Jet, as we called it, our little, you know, our little Army cars that were driving around as a recruiter. And I see this guy leaning up on a pole in Lake Wales, Florida, where I was recruiting at. And so I pull up beside him. He's like just standing there. And I pull up beside him and I said, "Hey man, what are you doing?" He goes, "I don't know." He goes, "I'm just out looking for a job." And I said, "You ever thought about military service?" And he said, and I'm not kidding, "I'm waiting on a sign from God." Now, he wasn't joking. So I kind of looked at him and I said, "Hello, I'm here. I'm your sign from God." He goes, "No, no, no, like I'm looking for a real sign." I said, "What are the odds a military recruiter in Lake Wales, Florida, that I don't even work out of, I work out of Winter Haven, I'm just driving through, I see you, I pull up, I talked about joining the military, you say you're thinking about the military, but you're waiting on a sign from God. You don't think this is a sign from God?" I don't know what he was waiting on, some brilliant light to shine. I don't know what it was, but the long story short.
Come down and talk to him and say, "Hey, here you go."
A burning bush.
Right. I guess he wants a burning bush. Yeah. I don't know. So I think so many times in life we miss opportunities that God puts in front of us because we sit on our hands and we take too much time. And the fact of the matter is, Angie and I were very busy. She was working 12, 15 hours a day. I was working 12, 15 hours a day in the gym, and we made the excuse. And that excuse cost us 2 years towards growing our business. Now, is it bad? No, we're here. So that's the good news. But the message that is most important that Angie and I try to get out to everybody is 2 years it took us to make a decision. And you guys can ask Alicia. A lot of people want a green carpet. You can ask her. I don't know if she's on this call or not, but I'm telling you, we told her no. And I mean, we didn't just say no. Sometimes I said, hell no. I'm like, no, we're not interested. I mean, we were very adamant that we were not going to get in. And then here we are getting ready to go triple. So, I mean, so don't be so quick to give up on people, I think is really, really the message.
Huge. And that's the thing, you know, about you guys, not me. I actually was a huge getting started with this too. And I was actually kind of like a hell no to an extent, having previous experience with MLM and disliking it so much. I wanted nothing to do with it until I tried the product. But I did too. I shot, you know, Casey Tosi, other presidential diamond that's underneath Alicia, is my friend and also the one who got me involved. And I laughed because I went back and found our conversation where I told her basically, no, here's 10 reasons why I don't want to do it ever. Don't ever ask me again. So that no that you guys get, I mean, here I am, I'm triple diamond. You guys are just about triple diamond. You know, I did only take about a month to get in, not like 2 years like you guys. But that's the thing is don't take that no. You've got to be pleasantly persistent. If Alicia had given up and said, you know what, forget it. I'm getting no's. It's been 2 months and I've been doing this and nobody wants to do this. I quit. She's been in for almost 4 yeand presidential diamond. You guys are about to go triple. I mean, that's what happens. It takes people sometimes years to join you. And that's why you can't give this a couple months and decide to quit. And speaking of which, you know, Angie, you're what we call rewired now. You're no longer teaching, are you?
No, not at all. No,
How does that
feel? Wow, what a blessing. It took me about a year. We went double diamond, and over the holidays, I didn't even wait till the end of the school year. I decided to go ahead and resign my position. So I do this full time now.
I remember your post about that and how incredibly emotional and excited you were over that, because it was, as much as you loved what you were doing, to have that, you can't put a price tag on freedom, you know, and that's exactly what you guys do, is you have that freedom.
Yep.
Right. And just time with your family, you just can't put a price tag on it. You know, I was getting up every morning and going to work and basically raising other people's children, but my child was not with me all day. So, and also I had an epiphany that you do not have to be a salaried employee to follow your mission. So, you know, I can volunteer at a school. I can help pay a child's tuition. There's other things that I can do to feel like I'm fulfilling my mission in life without being a salaried employee. And as soon as I had that epiphany, I guess it kind of gave me permission to go ahead and quit. And so now I do have that freedom, and that is one of the goals. That's what we have on our dream board, is to be able to help pay for kids to go to private school. And, you know, even before I was teaching, I was actually at that school volunteering, teaching the language arts program. So there's nothing to say that I can't go and teach a class as a volunteer. So you can still do what you're passionate about and still have your freedom, you know, and still grow and reach for your financial freedom.
I mean, absolutely. Those jobs are important. You know, network marketing isn't for everybody, but you guys clearly have that entrepreneurial spirit to go and open a gym and do these things. You know, that's really important to have. But it shows you can still follow those passions that you have. You don't have to give that up in order to do this. It just, like you said, opens different doors. You know, and that's a really a beautiful thing. So I really wanted to talk to you guys for two specific reasons. One being, like I said, to give hope to people who have been in this for a couple months and feel like they're getting a bunch of no's, you know, and feel like they're not getting anywhere, to realize, you know, people are always watching you. And even just because it's a no doesn't mean it's a no. It can mean a not right now. And the fact that it took you guys 2 years to you know, get in, granted you wish you'd gotten in sooner, but you didn't. It is what it is. You got in when you were supposed to. You're in. That's what matters. But what Alicia would have been missing out on if she had given up, and if she had given up, you guys wouldn't have never been in this. You know, Angie, you'd still be working. You know, Mike, we wouldn't have all your great videos, you know, stuff like that. So, you know, it's really great that, you know, you guys got in when you did. But I want people to hear that and understand that this business is not a sprint; it's a marathon. And so it really is disheartening when you see so many people get started with great intentions who throw in the towel after a couple months. You know, May was my 3-year anniversary with It Works. It took me 3 years to get to Triple Diamond, and it's taken people 2-3 years to join me on this journey, and they would never have done it if I had quit too. So I just wanted people to see you guys, hear you on the verge of going triple, and it took 2 years for you guys to get in the business. So don't throw in the towel when people aren't banging your door down after the, you know, first post on Facebook. But also too, secondly, you know, like I mentioned, Mike, you opened up and own East Coast Boxing, and you know, you really truly fully understand what it means to be a business owner. So I didn't like the idea when I got started personally about you own your own business, and I didn't really like the thought of that, but that's really how it is. And I wanted you to talk about, you know, what's the difference between owning like that gym, that brick and mortar business. I want you to talk about the difference between that and being an independent distributor, as far as money that has to go in and the hours and time and everything. What's different and what's the same between owning a brick and mortar business and being an independent distributor?
You know, what's interesting is it's a very big and long answer, but at the same time, it's you're going to be surprised how the correlation is not that different. I never thought about it before, but you know, Angie and I, now without going to all of our backgrounds, it would take too long, but you know, Angie here I got to give her just truly, not because she's just my hot wife.
You know, she's hot. She's beautiful. Look at her. She's gorgeous. That's for you, Matt.
So she's hot. Woo. Anyway, so, but you know, she basically single-handedly built. We built a training company before this that we sold. That's how we came up with the capital to open East Coast Boxing, and so she really does have a great, you know, marketing mind and a good business sense. But you know, when we got the gym up and running, one part of it was truly not to sound too angelic, but we like to help people with their health and their well-being. And we are on a mission to help people eat better, increase their life expectancy, live healthier lives, get off medications, you know, things like that. So that's what we were doing as health coaches anyway. So we opened East Coast Boxing. And like Angie told me here a while back, she said, you know, the main difference is in America, everybody wants the American dream of owning a business. But what they don't think about is they think that owning your own business means to go out and spend hundreds of thousands of dollars, and in some cases, millions of dollars to open a brick and mortar business. And when they open that brick and mortar business, what you've now done is created, you now own your own job is what you've done. So, you own a job. You have to get up every day. You got to be there. You have to work. Typically, very few people get to open a brick and mortar business and it be absentee owner. Absentee owner means you're really headed for bankruptcy, typically is what that means. And, you know, so I think it's important that people understand that we spent a couple $100,000 just to get the gym open. Think about that. How much does it cost for a distributor kit? $99. Okay. We spent a couple $100,000 to open this gym. Since we've been open in a little over 2 years, we've probably spent in expenses and overhead over $500,000 since we've been open. Now we're making money, but it all goes right back into the business. We've yet to make a dime since we've opened. So anybody listening to this call, I want you to think about this. We're for all intents and purposes, in the definition of America of a successful business, we're successful. We're open, we have members, we're growing, but we've yet to make a dollar. We've spent about $500,000 in 2 years in expenses. We sacrifice all the time for this. And, you know, and I want to just make money is why you open a business, right? We start It Works for $99 18 months ago, and our sole income, everybody, our sole income is It Works. So we don't make any money in the gym as of yet. Someday maybe we will, or we're going to sell it and get rid of it, but or dump it or whatever, burn it, or I don't know. I didn't say that. So anyway, our sole income is It Works in 18 months. And so I don't know, that's pretty darn profitable. I think our overhead, and by the way, people look at the business differently. So back to your question, what's the difference in brick and mortar versus It Works? Quite honestly, nothing except the amount of overhead you have to pay. So people should be excited about the fact that the only thing they're doing is doing an auto ship, because you need to be a product of the product. So you should always have product on hand. You should be using the products. You can't tell somebody how great our gym is if you haven't been there to work out in it.
Right.
You know, so you have to be a product of the product. You got to spend money. We have no choice. Every month, Duke Energy will shut the power off if we don't pay the bill. Make sense? The air conditioner doesn't run without electricity. We have to pay for our overhead to keep East Coast boxing open. We have to pay payroll to keep trainers working there. So we have to do all these things. You say, well, what's this got to do with my It Works business? I think a lot of people get in, and within 2 or 3 months, they think this is just a hobby. Well, it's just a hobby. I'm just in it to, you know, make whatever, $500. Well, I got news for you. If you want to make $500 a month in profit, that does take a little bit of time and effort, and you've got to spend some money to make money. I'm not talking about going broke. I don't think anybody out here should spend money on crap they just shouldn't spend money on. If you got a mouth and a Blitz card and your E-Suite, that's all you need to make a 7-figure income. I believe that with all my heart. All the other stuff is great, but you don't have to do that. We have our Jeep wrapped. You don't have to do that. We didn't wrap our Jeep until we were double diamonds. And you know what? We get one call every month or two off of it. You know, it's more because we're proud to ride around with It Works all over our vehicle. So the difference is, and I think this is really probably the most important point, Nina, and I'll let Angie elaborate if she wants to, is Angie and I always tell everybody, back to consistency. We have to put the key in the door every morning at the gym and open it every single day. We're actually closed on Saturday for the Sabbath because we keep the Sabbath, but we're open 6 days a week. Our members know we're open 6 days a week. They know the hours on the door. They can expect the gym to be open during those times. Imagine if we just randomly shut down on Tuesday, and every now and then we shut down for 3 days, and we might open for a week and shut down for a week. How many members do you think we would have? How many customers do you think we would have? So here's the message there. You own an It Works business is what you own. For $99, you got the legal right to sell It Works products and make as much money as you want with no ceiling. If you're not open at least 6 days a week, I say labor for 6, take a day of rest. If you don't labor 6 days a week, and if people, every time they look at your Facebook page, every time they look at your Instagram, every time they see you walking around the street, if your store's not open, they're not going to do business with you. And look, you don't walk by a store today, okay, and sometimes walk right in the door. It might take you 6 months walking by that store, and all of a sudden you go, I want to go in there and buy something because they've been there for 6 months. I like how they look. They've been around. I'm going to do it. It took Angie and I 2 years to watch Matt and Alicia. Their store was open for 2 years until we finally said, dang it, let's go in and buy. And we did. Boom. Here we go. Hope that answered the question.
No, and he made such a great point about being consistent. It wasn't simply about being pleasantly persistent that got us to join Alicia. It was us watching her being consistent. We literally started watching her journey. We saw her situation before she joined It Works. We saw her situation getting better. We saw she got to quit working at the wine bar. We saw Matt is not having to do gigs on the weekends anymore. We watched their journey. We watched their consistency. consistency. Then Alicia was homeschooling her boys, and she was at home with them all the time. It was her consistency in doing It Works really that made us actually perk up and want to.
They never wavered.
They
never wavered. And that's the problem with so many distributors today. They go, we can't figure out why we're not successful. I can't figure out what we're doing wrong. And we go, well, we can just kind of look at you. I'm not trying to sound ugly, but we can just look at a distributor and we know exactly why they're not successful. And I mean, we advise them and tell them why, but you know, people think they're working hard when they're really not. You know, when Angie and I, when we first got that gym open, I was putting in 16 hours a day from 6 in the morning till 10 at night, 6 days a week at that gym. After 4 or 5 months, I thought I was going to die. I was putting in so many hours. I had to figure out how to pull it back. The good news is you don't have to put in 16 hours a day with It Works. You
1 hour.
One solid hour. But when we say 1 hour of work, we mean an hour of concentrated effort on building your business. So anyway, but I don't, you know, Angie and I never encourage anybody to go out and buy a brick and mortar business. It's not worth it. $99 with this kit. Get a business mindset. Quit thinking hobby. And when you don't think anybody is watching, when you don't think anybody is listening, when you don't think anybody is caring,
they're watching.
They're watching, and they're going to start popping up. Angie today, almost every day, will show me her phone and say, you remember this person I talked to 6 months ago? You remember this person I messaged 5 months ago? You remember this person I talked to a year ago? Bam, they just all of a sudden message her and say, you know what? I've been watching you. I'm ready to get started. That's how it happens.
People are watching you a little bit. You know, like you talked about Alicia. Everything you mentioned was her taking you guys on a journey between quitting the wine bar, homeschooling her children, Matt not having to work on the weekend gigs anymore. She took you guys on a journey on how It Works was changing her life for the better. She didn't sit and post all day, buy my wraps, buy this, I'm selling this, join my team. It's not about that. It's about taking people on a journey. And, I always tell people to utilize social media as your tool because it's an amazing tool if you use it properly. Right. You take people on a journey, build that relationship, show them, how it's changing your life and how wonderful it is. But like you said, don't waste your time using it as the outlet for, sitting on there for 10 hours a day, waiting for somebody to message you. I posted 5 times and nobody liked them. I think, get off your butt, go out there and make something happen and post about that. Post right. about the rack cash you just made, post about blitzing somebody, post about something fun that you got done. But Alicia took you guys on a journey, and that's what brought you guys in and made this see how real it was. The fact that after 2 years she was still sticking with it, but also too the journey that she took you guys on. I think that's really important, and I love that you guys shared that. And also too, Mike, I think you'll agree. I know I've read somewhere talking about a brick and mortar business. On average, it takes 2 years at least for the business to either fail, or it's always 2 years before you can make a profit. And like you said, you've been doing this 2 years and you're not turning a profit. You're breaking even, so you're considered successful with it, and you're growing, which is great. But with this business, with It Works, like you said, you paid $99 for your starter kit, and you can immediately make your money back and start turning a profit immediately. I mean, for people who own a brick and mortar, you know how ridiculously awesome that is, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's pretty sad. People forget. Tomorrow, anybody listening to this call, run around to some more of your smaller businesses, not the big chains. Go in the door and look for the little plaque they'll have on a wall somewhere, and they'll have $1 inside of a plaque. And that dollar represents the first dollar of profit that they ever made. And for some business, it takes 2, 3, 5 years in some cases. $1. Think about that, $1. And and I think our first commission check, now let's just brag, it was how much? $9 our first commission check. $9, folks.
First month.
We've spent $500,000 with our gym, and we haven't made $9. Come on, think about that for a second. So, people got to get excited. If you can make $9, Angie and I knew once we made $9, we simply have to enhance the numbers. That's all. That's all this is.
It's a number game. It's a numbers game. And like you said, being consistent and utilizing your time properly is just the key right there.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'd like to hear from you guys what you consider. You've been in, like you said, you got started December 2013. So this time frame that you've been in, about a year and a half now, what I would like to hear from each of you, you know, your biggest, what we call your aha moment. What's when your light bulb kind of went off? What's something that really inspired you, or what was your biggest aha moment that you guys have had to date?
I think our aha moment happened when we went to our first corporate event. So that's why we're always preaching about getting to corporate events. We signed in December of 2013. And like I said, we were very busy. So we told Alicia, look, we signed up, just leave us alone. Let us do this at our pace. And we did, you know, we had signed up a few people. And so I wouldn't say we weren't working it. We were, just because we kind of by nature are like that. But we just didn't see the vision. And so we went to our first One Team, One Mission in Raleigh, April 24th of 2014. We were executive by that time. So we made it to executive in 4 months. And Melody McFarlane was the one that was doing the One Team, One Mission. Of course, you guys all know how wonderful she is. And we watched person after person after person stand up and tell their story. And Mike and I just kept looking at each other. And we realized at that event what we had in our hands. It was like our golden goose. You know, I had no desire to teach for 30 years, to retire with half the income I was making as a teacher. You know, with the gym, unless you franchise a bazillion gyms, you're not going to make a lot of money. So we walked away from that One Team, One Mission thinking, wow, this is our retirement. So we kind of had in our mind our retirement account, our future financial security. And so we decided to get to work, and we left April 24th as executives, and by the end of May we had gone diamond. So it was such an aha moment. It really affected even our daily behavior.
We literally walked out of that One Team, One Mission. By the way, that's where we met Rusty Lackey.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I'm not dropping names here, but I'm proud to say that we're actually friends with him, and it's kind of cool.
If you know, those distributors aren't watching, go look him up right now. He is probably one of the most inspirational, amazing people in our company. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Yeah, he's incredible. And you know, we met Rusty, and he spoke that night. We heard his story, and he has since come to 2 of our rap extravaganzas at the gym. And you know, he'll text us, and Angie was a guest on one of his team calls, which you know, was an honor. We drove all the way to Western North Carolina to his book signing when his book first came out, and hung out with him. Anyway, we walked out of that One Team, One Mission. Like, think about this for a second now. We have the date memorized. It's in our brain, April 24th. We have the date memorized. We walked out the door as executive distributors, and sat in the Jeep and looked at each other and said, let's do it. Let's do this.
Yeah.
I mean,
this is it. This is our retirement plan.
Yeah, this is it. I mean, so I have to say, not to be boring, but my aha moment's the same as Angie's. Here's what we preach all the time. You got to go to the events. You have to go. I mean, look, we haven't missed one. And look, folks, I'm just telling you right now, we don't have money, okay? We're like everybody else out there. We do make enough to pay the bills, but we still struggle day to day. A lot of times we have a lot of overhead, like I said, at the gym. I'm just telling you, we don't have money. We don't have 6 figures in an account. I know when I talk about how much we've spent in the gym, but folks, that means if we bring in 20,000 in a month in the gym, 21,000 goes out typically. We've had to take from our own personal account, you know, from what we make from It Works and when Angie was a teacher, just to get by to pay the bills at the gym. So it's not that we come from money. So I think that's important for people to know, because we can sit here and it's very nice when people give us accolades, and that's wonderful because we really do want to help people. But at the end of the day, we're not, you know, #1 income earners in the company yet. We're not there yet, but we do make 100% of our living from this company. And I just know that if we can do this, anybody else can do it. I have a very crazy outgoing personality. That is true. Angie's a little more reserved, but she is such a recruiter. The fact of the matter is she's the closer. I mean, she's the closer. But you got to get to the events. We haven't missed an event, Nina. You know, we went to Green Carpet, our first one. So we went to April, was our One Team, One Mission. July, we were at Green Carpet. That's where we met you at.
Yes, yes.
That's right. And then October, we went to Green Carpet again. Turned around January, we were at conference. then we've been to numerous other One Team One missions. We've been as far, a couple hour drive for One Team One missions, an hour drive away. We've held our own meetings, 2 rap extravaganzas. And folks, we're broke, but we make it to the meetings. We go, and Angie had a job up until last December. So I'm sorry when people come up with all of these excuses as to why they can't get to events. I don't buy it. You know when the events are going to be well ahead of time. Plan it, make it happen. That's all there is to it. The events give you believability. Bottom line. If you don't believe you're going to make it and it works, you're not. You're just not going to make it. So going to the events is getting around like-minded people. When we get to go and hang out with Nina at, the green carpet and at conference, and we get to hang out with the Rusty Lackeys and the Matt and Alicias and the Casey Tosies and the Brian and Corinne's and all the numerous leaders and all these wonderful people and distributors, we can't wait to see these people again. Right. And you don't have that out there in Google land right now. You don't have that until you get to these events. Right. That's it.
I don't want to cut you off. I want to elaborate on that for a second, though, because I agree with the whole not being able to afford it thing. I couldn't afford to go to my first event, and I said, forget it. I'm just going to go anyway. And I did. And I'll tell you what, and you guys are in North Carolina having to travel all the way down to Florida. I just had a few hours of a drive, in Florida to go. So you guys make those investments. I want to say investment over sacrifice, because that's what it is. And you guys had to travel from North Carolina, so many people on our team, because our team is based out of Orlando area, Claremont area, just have a couple hours of a drive to go. And here you guys are coming from North Carolina to make it to these events. But just to elaborate on what you said, it's so important. I agree with that, because the best way I can describe it is like you said, it's important to be plugged in like this, watching these hangouts, getting on the phone calls, doing these things, but you will not fall in love with the company until you make it to an event. To hear and see the leaders in person, but like you said, to meet all these people from our team, you see their names all the time in our Facebook support groups and all these people that, inspire you, but to be able to hang out with them. I call it Works Events family reunions, because, we are literally one big family, but you literally fall in love with the company when you attend events. And that's one of the reasons, it's kind of brings the next question for you guys. I feel like that's what keeps people going, is you can't think about life without the support and the people that you're surrounded with within the company itself, and the people that are on your team and sidelines and whatnot. So have you guys ever had those moments where you felt like giving up or throwing in the towel or quitting?
Good thing.
No, I don't think we've ever thought about giving up or throwing in the towel. The business plan is solid, and there's just no quitting. I just know, we both know that if you just follow the simple steps that they have given us, just repeat it every day, even the boring steps, even if can be boring, just the same steps every single day, and it will lead you to success. And we just have that strong confidence. And what you said about falling in love with the company, when you asked about our aha moment, I think we really understood what we had in our hands from a business perspective when we went to the One Team One mission. But when we went to Green Carpet in July, that's really when we fell in love with the company. And I think that's so important too. You can fall in love with the business model and understand where it can take you, but getting to Green Carpet is when we really fell in love with the company. And that was such an important step in our journey as well. So it's been a journey, but we've never ever considered quitting.
Nope.
Obviously we have discouraging moments when we feel like people in our downline aren't doing everything that we've expected, as far as, oh, she's going to be a rock star, and then they get in and they are not a rock star, they quit. 2 days
it's
later.
Just disappointing.
It can be disappointing, but what Mike is always talking about in his videos, you have to discipline your disappointment. So I always have the mindset, when I have an inkling of disappointment, I immediately switch it to, what can I do today to grow my business? And so I'm always putting it back on myself, which forces you to lead from the front. But if I'm always putting it back on myself, what can I do today to grow my business? Then you don't have to worry really about what anybody else is doing. And so we're in it for the long haul. We never ever thought about quitting.
No, we don't. That's the gospel truth. We don't think about quitting. Charting is going to fall apart. Legs are going to fall apart. People are going to quit. People are going to talk trash. People are going to jump to other companies. People are going to do everything.
Right.
And as Jim Rohn says, you simply just have to look at it and say, Isn't that interesting? And that's all you can do. And
truck forward, truck on.
and I tell you, you know what motivates us is, like Angie said, it's a very important point. So when you have something that happens in your day that's depressing from a business standpoint, from your team or organization, then what you need to do is get on the computer, get on the phone, and sign up a new LC for yourself, or sign up a new DT for yourself. And guess what? You go to bed that night feeling motivated because you had a successful day. You excelled at this business, and that's what you have to keep doing. You have to find victories for yourself every day. And sometimes, you know, and that's why it does work as a married couple. I always tell people we have an advantage. There's two of us out here breaking, you know, bricks on the street and going after people. And I know there's a lot of single moms and single dads, and you know, you know, married couples where just one is building the business, and so it is all on your back. But you know, it's so doable. Come on, there's too many people in this company that have done it. You've got so many leaders to follow, but you have to go to bed every night knowing that you did something every day. And that's our motto on our team: do something every day, no matter what. And you can't go to bed feeling like you didn't succeed.
I think that that's wonderful. And I think that another thing I'd like to touch on with you guys, because I've watched your journey, and I think the reason I only had one moment where I wanted to quit, and it was, you know, I got a wonderful sideline to kind of snap me out of it and made me realize, you know, to focus on what I had control over and to let God handle what I didn't have control over. And that's exactly what you guys just talked about, for one. And I have never looked back since then. But also, too, after watching you guys' journey, I think the reason you guys haven't had those moments of sitting back and feeling like quitting is because you've never stopped. You've never slowed down. You've always been consistent. And I think that it's when, in those moments where you stop working your business, you stop doing your steps to success each month, you stop focusing on what you have control over, is when that fear starts to creep in. And you guys haven't had that moment because you haven't stopped and you've been consistent, not putting in 40 hours a day. You've been consistently working your business since you got started, and that's why you haven't had those moments. You know, Mike, you talked about, I think, or Angie, one of you guys mentioned Mike's videos, which you guys know I'm the #1 biggest fan of those. I think they're fabulous. And I always laugh. I'm like, and I absolutely, of course, love Matt's parodies because they're hilarious. But you know what I like so much about your videos is I always say I want to be like Mike when I grow up, but truly because you, I feel like if I yelled at people through a video, I'd make them cry because I'm so la 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 most of the time. But I love what you have to say in your videos because you only speak the truth, and sometimes people don't like to hear the truth. Take that long, hard look in the mirror. You don't sugarcoat things. You put it how it is. But everything that you say in your videos is, you know, completely spot on. So if you're not following Mike Polk or his videos, you got to go watch those. Yelling and all. I love it all. I would love to hear from you guys the best advice you can give to those new distributors who are just starting out.
I think for new distributors, the main thing is to just be consistent. It can be as simple as making sure you post every day on social media. And people, they look at social media wrong. They think if they make a post on Facebook about a product and they don't immediately have people ordering, that it was a failed post. And I'm trying to get them to understand that that is not even the purpose of posting on social media. It's basically to let them know that your business is open. Your store is open. So post on social media every day so all your friends and family know every day that you're still doing it, because the bottom line is somebody eventually is going to want to either become a distributor, become a loyal customer, and if they don't know that you're doing it, they will not come to you. You know, my daughter has been very consistent in her business, and she just got a message a few days ago from some guy that said, my girlfriend really wants to do It Works, and you're the only one that I know that's doing it. You know, and it was simply because she was being consistent in her posting. Regardless if she got a loyal customer off some post, or regardless if she got 7,000 likes on it, it doesn't matter. It's just about being consistent and not quitting. Making sure you go into the E-Suite and watching those training videos. It's a business. You have to treat it like a business. Make sure you print your steps to success every month. If you don't know where you're going, if you don't know what the mark is, you're not going to hit it. And so if you set a goal for yourself every month of 4 loyal customers and 3 distributors, and then try to build a Ruby every 2 months, that is the steps to success. That's the mark that you're trying to hit. And you're not going to do it if you take 2 weeks off. You're not going to do it if you just make one post on Facebook and just expect 5 loyal customers to sign up.
Right.
So that's the main thing. New distributors, I don't think they need to be overwhelmed with follow 17,000 different people, you know, follow this person, follow that person, you know, keep it simple. Stupid is, you know, what we need to focus on.
Just follow me. That's all. Just me.
Like,
Follow mine and you're set.
It can be overwhelming. You know, we have a problem with looking at other people's journeys and then judging ourselves based on other people's journeys. You know, there's
Absolutely.
people.
I always say, you know, don't compare your chapter 1 to somebody's chapter 25.
Exactly. And you will get very discouraged and very overwhelmed if you try to take on too much at one time. So I try to tell them, just be consistent in your posting so your friends and family know that you're doing it. Make sure everyone knows your store is open, and then do those things that you need to do to be successful in any business, which is to educate yourself. Watch the training videos, print your steps to success, print your Ruby chart. You know, once you've been in for a while and you really feel like you have a good grasp on things, and, you know, maybe you've got a couple distributors in, then maybe that's the time that you can start following other leaders and really start reaching out to other things. But at the beginning, keep it simple.
Yeah, go upline.
Oh, sorry, Mike, if you want to.
Yeah, you follow up, and you know, follow your upline. I think so many times people have triple diamonds, sometimes above them, presidential diamonds, and some ambassador diamonds even that are pretty close to them, and they'll still want to jump, you know, to the left and right, like way out left and right on some sidelines, and that's fine. But the thing is, you're not on that team. You're not directly connected, so you might get some good, you know, advice off of some of their posts. But it's a little different when someone's got Nina Berman as their triple diamond leader right there in their upline that they know they can end up ultimately going to. When they have someone like Alicia, you know, Amayo and Matt sitting there as presidentials, you know, Casey Tosi, come on, this woman, I mean, she is, you know, ambassador any day. I mean, she's.
I mean, I'm biased because she's one of my best friends and she give me this. But yeah, I mean, she's just a wonderful, you know, Angie, I know you guys are the same way, what we call a servant leader. You know, and that's when you pour yourself, you worry about yourself and build your own business, but you pour into your team and you focus on those people, and that's exactly what she exemplifies. And we are one team, one mission, but that also means you still, like you said, need to focus on, you know, what's right there in your own backyard.
Right. Yeah, people make it too complicated. You know, I mean, we really try to tell our downline all the time, and anyone that gets in is like Angie says, this is a duplicatable system for a reason. You know, and I've even said this in my videos before. People will say, well, I'm not like you, Mike, or I'm not like Angie, so we won't be as successful as you. And we say, no, you don't understand. Angie and I do the same thing every month, our steps to success. Right. Our goal is to go out and to recruit 3 distributors every month and 4 LCs. And why do you put in 3 and 4? Because not all 3 of those distributors are going to build the business. You know, law of averages, you got to get more. So not all 3 of those are going to do it. So you want to put in 3 a month. You want to put in 4 loyal customers. Some of them are going to start dropping off the books. That's all we do. As you start to grow and your business grows, I call it in-time learning. In time, you will learn what you need to know to chart. The first thing is just learn how to go Ruby. Just do that. Yeah. Forget Emerald, forget double, triple, Ruby. Why worry about going, you know, diamond when you're not even jump from executive to diamond? Beautiful. Trust me, you'll learn when that time comes, like we did. So just keep it simple. And for the love of God, don't lose faith because you don't have 500 distributors in your first month or 2 or 3 months. It takes time. Treat it as a business. Keep the faith. Get to the events. It'll happen.
Absolutely. I mean, going to events is, like you said, absolutely key. You know, for somebody who's a couple hours away or states away, you know, it's so absolutely worth it. So that's great advice for people getting started. And I can't agree more because there's so much information. You know, I was so overwhelmed when I got started. Casey was like, oh my gosh, me and Ron just sat down and read over the compensation plan. And, you know, when I got started, it was right when they had first announced the good bonuses. So it was this new thing. And she like sent me a diamond chart. And I looked at that and I was like, forget it. I was so turned off because I thought there's no way I'm going to get that many people. I didn't want to do this. Nobody else is going to want to do this with me. I'm never going to get to that rank. I just want to share the crazy rap thing and that's it. You know what I mean? So you're absolutely right. Don't overwhelm yourself. It will come just, you know, step by step. So for for people who have been in for like you for about 1.5 years, over like 1 year and up? You know, what advice would you give to them?
1 year and up. I don't know. Quit your whining. I'm kidding.
No, you're not.
Quit.
1 year, when you've been in for over a year, that to me is the point where, you can get into more of the self-development, learn the colors. It's with any industry, you want to be at the top 10% of your industry. And the only way you can do that is to educate yourself. So now you need to educate yourself about what it takes to be a successful network marketing professional. What does it take to be a recruiting master? It's really moving from the novice to the professional, and you need to do some very key steps to move from the novice to the professional. Especially the more people you have underneath of you, the more you're going to want to lead from the front. And so we're always listening to whatever CD we can get our hand on, but we love Jim Rohn, of course, and Brian Tracy, and a lot of self-development. And I know Mike Patillo is always saying that you always have to be working on yourself, and if you work on yourself, things will happen the way they're supposed to happen. But you get to learn, I guess, just in the process of growing, how to move loyal customers, how to move distributors, how to lead a team. Now if you have people underneath of you, maybe you need to start your own team. And so move out of your comfort zone a little bit more. It just kind of opens up a whole new world for you, I think, once you've been in for a while.
And I was going to say too, so Angie said out of your comfort zone. In true Mike Polk video fashion. So here's the deal. If you've been in this business over a year and you're sitting at the executive level, this doesn't hurt anybody's feelings. Look, if you've been in a year and you're an executive or distributor, maybe Ruby, not necessarily so, but if you're an executive at a year, this is not a negative statement I'm about to make. You obviously have believability because you've been here for a year.
You're still here.
What are you waiting on? And I'm going to tell you what typically the problem is. And not really a problem, but it's mindset. It's a problem. The problem is, you saw that, Angel. Anyway, so the problem is,
he's getting all excited.
I'm ready to climb in through the computer, right? You gotta get in the game.
Started. That's what I'm waiting for.
I'm trying not to scare the family. Look, I got a neck tattoo. I'll say whatever I want. So you gotta get in the game. And I mean, we find all the time that when people have been in for a while, we're trying to evaluate, well, why haven't they grown more? It doesn't mean you can be shy, you can be outgoing, you can be all different types of personalities. The bottom line is you're not opening your mouth to enough people. Right. At the end of the day, that's it. I think you made a little meme one time. I appreciate it, Nina, when you said, I said, no talent required, just keep asking. That's all you got to do. It's a numbers game. And the more you talk, the more you say, the better you get. The more you learn the product, the more you learn how to recruit, the more people believe you. What's coming out of my mouth right now is nothing more than belief. People say, well, you seem so fired up. It's because I believe. You can't convince me this is not a good opportunity. It's not possible. You can't convince me. And when you have that believability, you'll start growing. Doesn't mean you're going to jump up. Look, there is some luck involved here. You recruit people. You have no control over what people do in this business. None. You have 100% control over what you do. And your job is to open your mouth, talk to people, and get them in the door. They will decide if they want to do it when they get in. So if you've been in for a year and you're still sitting at a lower rank and you're going, well, I don't know why I'm at a lower rank, I'm here to tell you with all the love in my heart, it's because you're not talking to enough people. Your believability is not probably where it needs to be. Now, that might not be 100%. So if you're saying, no, I believe and all that, then that's fine. But normally it's because you're not going after enough people. That's all this is. Right. It's just, every day Angie goes after people. Every day I go after people because I don't know. I think Angie told some of our downline, it was genius. She said, I believe that if I don't ask everybody on the street and tell them about this opportunity, somebody else is, and that's my distributor, and they're not allowed to have them.
That used to motivate me so much. I would get so much with saying, social media is amazing. So I'm a big belly play person, and face to face, I'm a big person when it comes to using those tools that It Works has given us. And anytime I would get scared to blitz somebody, that's exactly the thought I would put through my mind. If I don't do it, somebody else will. Somebody else is going to be hungrier than me. Somebody else is going to be more excited than me. and they're going to want to talk to that person. So let that motivate you for sure.
Right. Ask everybody. You have nothing to lose. They're not going to, no one's going to hurt you. No one's going to cuss you out. They're not going to do that. Hey, Mike.
Visual, Mike, I can actually see you physically running down the street chasing after people.
Yeah, we no problem. Well, I'll talk to a tree. I don't care. It gives me practice, whatever. But you got to talk to people. It's just not a big deal. It really isn't. People just make this so hard. And I think sometimes too, it's because people are ashamed. They're not completely all in. They'll tell someone, well, I'm in this company. I'm a distributor for It Works. And they'll say, wait, is that a network marketing company? Is that a pyramid scheme? Whatever negative crap they want to say. And instead of you sticking your chest out being like, yeah, it's a network marketing company. You know, network marketing is a $112 billion industry. Yeah, it's a very sizable industry. I'm a professional network marketer. That's what Angie and I told everybody. We are professional network marketers. And I'm
going to come full circle on what you just said there. And because I was that person, I was a little embarrassed and ashamed to say that that's what it was. But I'll tell you what, you get over that by attending corporate events. Because you'll be so proud to be a part of this company. And even though network marketing is not for everybody, it is what it is at the end of the day. And it's an amazing business opportunity with, you know, first market, can't find anywhere products. But you'll so get over that because you will want people to fall in love with it like you do. You will want people to be as crazy, you know, about it as you are. So that's absolutely full circle right there for sure.
Right. You know, Mark Pentecost, I don't believe for 1 second that he's embarrassed to tell anybody about It Works. You know what?
No big deal, you know.
You know, the back of his boat doesn't say it works. It says it worked.
Oh, I love, that's right. I forgot about that. I love that. You know, I think that's really,
think about how many
oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, think about how many people told him, you know, probably told him and Pam Souter when they first brought the wrap to market how stupid they were and how dumb of an idea it was. You know what? You should be a little proud of the fact, you know what? I don't know. Angie and I, maybe we just don't mind it. Please tell me I can't do it. Please tell me we're stupid. Please tell me that it's idiotic. You know, come on, just tell us that, because anytime people say that kind of stuff to us, it just, man, stokes the stove. We put more gas on the flame and just go crazy with it. So, you know, God, I don't know. I wish there was a way. We saw a post from Major tonight, and we shared it on our team page, and she simply said, you can't teach ambition. And and I just thought that it hit me right in the face. And I said, you know, it's true, because I wish there was a way that Angie and I could instill ambition and motivation into people. Because if you're sitting here and you're trying to pay your bills and you're doing this because you're trying to make a living and you're struggling right now, I'm telling you, the struggle's not going to change anytime soon, with or without It Works. So you might as well struggle with It Works, put some time and effort into this thing, and change your life. It'll happen. You know, it could take a year, it could take 5 years, but what do you got to lose? I mean, I wish there was a way we could put our believability into people, because it would be crazy how fast everybody would grow.
That's what happened right there. It's ironic that you mentioned Major Jones. She's a black diamond, and that's, you know, the top level you can reach in the company. And she still, to this day, fills out steps to success every month.
Right.
So, you know, what you talked about, people have been in for over a year. Like I said, you guys have been in for over a year and a half. I've been in for a little over 3 years. The personal development that you touched on was really important and struck a chord with me, because that's something that I actually really fought against when I got started. I didn't want anything to do with that, but you're right. Once you've been in for a year and over, you have to embrace it. You know, that's the beautiful thing about this company. Yeah, we have amazing products. Yeah, we have incredible people, an amazing compensation plan, but the way that it's a little sneaky, the way they have it is that you can't help but better yourself. You can't help but do that personal development and become a better person. So embrace that part of this journey. And those who quit after a month or two will never know that. They will never get that bigger picture. And I love that you guys brought that up, you know, and here you guys are, you know, a year and a half in, and you're about to go triple diamond. And, you know, it's a very exciting, that was the rank that I always wanted to reach. Once I realized that growing with the company was a possibility and people actually wanted to do this, that's where I wanted to be. I wanted to be at triple diamond. That was just, to me, that was, you know, making it, that was it. So hitting that goal in May was huge for me. And what's really cool of triple diamond is when you reach that rank, you become what they consider VIP in the company. which is super exciting. So you guys are almost there. You know, what does VIP status mean to you guys? Because, you know, you're there, you're what we call boxed in, you know, ready to go. It's so exciting. And I would love to know what you guys, you know, what do you consider? You're almost there. You know, if things, like you said, go right by the end of the month, you'll be promoting, you'll be making that $25,000 bonus. You tell me, what does that mean to you besides the bonus money? What does VIP mean to you guys?
I was a VIP when we joined, Nina. I don't know what to tell you. I was
Oh, I forgot who I was interviewing for a minute. My bad.
I better let my wife answer this question.
Well, to me, it goes back to what I said about being in the top 10% of the industry. You know, Brian Tracy says in his, he did a CD about the 21 characteristics of self-made millionaires. And everybody, does not matter what industry you are in, you should strive to be in the top 10% of that industry. So for me, it's just an indication that we're getting closer to that top 10%. You know, it's that stepping stone to ambassador, which of course is the top of the company. And, you know, it's just,
Rusty Lackey just texted Angie. I'm telling you the truth right now. Sorry, baby.
I'm so jealous. I was going to say that.
Wait, he texted me. I'm sorry. He texted me. He texted me
a week ago, though.
Well, he's never texted me, so okay, I lose.
Really nice. It was very uplifting, and I really needed it that day as well. But you know, it's just validation that we're doing something right. To me, it's just a stepping stone to ambassador, just trying to be at the top of the company. So, oh yeah. See, I got the text.
See, he texted her now because I didn't answer quick enough.
Oh my goodness gracious.
You can't answer these millionaires too fast, you know. You got to let them wait a few minutes. You know, you got to let them hang. Otherwise, they think, you know, come on. Just hold on, Rusty. We're in the middle of an interview right now.
Hold on. You're getting interviewed right now by somebody you have no idea who they are. Just kidding. No, that's really exciting, though. I really love that. And like I said, that's why I love your journey so much. And I wanted to share it with people so much, is that they can see that this is not, you know, a get rich quick scheme. And, you know, there's nothing wrong with getting rich quick. And that happens for some people. And if that's not your journey, that's okay. You know, and you guys are on an amazing, consistent journey. And I love it. And you know what? It's taken you a little over a year and a half to, you know, you're about to reach the rank of triple diamond. You know, if it takes you another 3 years to hit ambassador, who cares? Because you're still going to hit ambassador. You know what I mean? I'm right there with you guys. I've always said, if it takes me 5 years to be a millionaire, who cares? I'm a millionaire, you know? So you guys are right there along there with that journey. And that's amazing. I mean, that's all the questions I had for you guys. If there's anything that you all would like to add to wrap it up, please go for it.
Well, back to being triple diamond, you know, for us to go triple, a lot of things have to happen. We have to have a double underneath of us, and we have to have 3 diamonds underneath of us. That means several emeralds. That means several rubies, several executives. That means a whole crap ton of people reaching their goals. And so that's what I get very excited about too. You know, obviously we're Reds. We like to grow businesses. I'm very excited to grow up in the ranks, but I work hand in hand every single day with so many people, and I get so excited about the fact that, you know, every time we go up in rank, that means other people are going up in rank too. Other people are reaching their goals. You know, the ones that are on the phone crying with me saying, Angie, I really need this. I really need this. I really need this to happen, you know, and then it does. We can't go to triple literally unless it literally happens for several other people. And, you know, and that's what this is about too. It's really about helping people with their health, but really helping people reach their financial goals as well. Which is the beauty of this business is you get to celebrate with all of those other distributors on your team reaching their goals. You get to celebrate them, and that's what's so wonderful about this. Because my past experience, you know, you didn't get to celebrate each other. You're basically each other's competition. So it's great, you know, that it's a huge group effort. It takes a ton of people to make a triple diamond. You know, everybody matters, and you got to celebrate all of that, and that's the beauty of this business for sure. Right.
Well, I just wanted to finish by saying, first of all, you know, thanks for inviting us to do this, and hopefully somebody got something out of it. And you know, if the truth of the matter is, I'm nothing. My wife is everything. She is truly the engine behind this thing. Right beside us is just, you know,
you're just the mouth gun.
I'm the mouth of the South, but there's charts everywhere. If you could see this desk, you would. But I am the mouth of the South. I'm actually the mouth of the whole Eastern Seaboard. But anyway, you know, it's such a good business. I mean, it's exciting. And back to the whole event thing, I can't say enough. It's when you go to an event and you get to meet, you know, just a handful of people, you will be excited to get back. Because, you know, so Nina, like for us, it was cool because now we've met you in person. We've met a lot of other people in person. So now when we have these Facebook interactions, when someone is talking about what's going on in their day or what their successes and stuff, you do feel a little differently. It's a little more personal because you've had, you know, you've met them in person. And so it's great to be followed by people and it's great to interact with people on Facebook, but it's nothing like walking into that green carpet experience and seeing thousands of people there. And for Mark and Pam and Mike and John Eric and all these wonderful people to get on stage, you will believe these are real people. They're incredible people. Angie and I knew we were skeptics because we were terrified that the leadership of this company wouldn't be as good as what we heard it was. And you can't fake it. When we walked in the door and they came out and they started talking, we just knew. We just knew. And you can't get that feeling until you're there. So anyway, for those of you that are pretty new, if you're watching this, and if anybody's still the one watching this, people might be yawning. I don't know.
Start yelling.
Yeah, get in. Let's go. Just
Do it.
Just
Do it.
do it. Just do it. Just do it. All right. So you stand up, micro. Oh wait, I'm not wearing pants. I'm sorry, I forgot. I'm just wearing a shirt. I'm not wearing any pants. So Angie, you're not wearing pants either. Oh, it's our anniversary.
Wow.
So anyway.
Looks like time is up.
Look, if I can do it, covered in all these tattoos and everything, anybody can do it. Come on, let's go. Let's
you guys aren't even wearing pants and you're working. Looking at that, you know, that says a lot right there, right?
That's right. That's right. So thank you, Nina.
I'm excited for you guys. I loved meeting you last year. You know, every opportunity we get to our family reunions is amazing. I love doing this Google Hangout with you guys. I think you have an amazing journey, amazing testimonials, information, advice, everything. And I appreciate you guys taking time, you know, away from your youngest, you know, your little to do this with me, just as I did with my kids. You're both busy parents. So Angie, I know you've got a glass of wine there too. I would like to do a toast to you guys. I know it's not official yet.
Mine's empty, but okay.
But I'm going to say here's to Mike and Angie at the top on the beach and soon to be in VIP with me. What?
Boom. Bye, guys.
Cheers, guys. So, well, you guys have a wonderful night. Everybody tuning in, thank you so much for watching. And I hope you all enjoyed this and got a lot out of it as much as I did too. So leaving here definitely inspired. All right, you guys have a great evening.